Welcome to Sib Spot. Today's Reddit stories are from Am I the A-Hole? Story 1 is by Dad of GymRats93. Am I the a-hole for calling my sister wacko over my boys' quote, inappropriate shower habits? Dad of teens, boys 17 and 15. They are pretty lucky in that our whole finished basement is their junior man cave. It's not of my doing. The previous owner was a gym rat and really fixed it up. Besides their bedrooms, there's a little gym area with a couple of machines, free weights, and even the world's tiniest locker room with 3 lockers and a bench, etc. It opens into a pretty large walk-in shower, a mini version of an actual locker room gang shower about 5 by 7 feet, I guess. The boys think this basement is their kingdom and they love it. So do their friends. When it comes to showering, it's not unusual for them to just leave the water running and one jump in right after the other finishes. It's not even unusual for them to overlap. In fact, it's not unheard of that they are in a hurry and they both jump in at the same time after a workout. It's a pretty normal gym atmosphere in a decent-sized shower with a couple of heads, not like a cozy bathtub shower or anything. Somehow this setup was mentioned in front of my sister, taking a house tour for the first time recently, and she was appalled. Appalled! Taking a shower at the same time, together. She was positively incredulous. I told her it was absolutely no different than the boys showering at the gym or in their sports locker room at school. Guys, especially athletes, take showers. Yes, together. Happens a million times a day. She said that was very, quote, inappropriate, quote. I called her a wacko prude and now she's not speaking to me or my wife. Are you the a-hole? No. It's a cultural thing and it's a how you were raised thing, and it's also, for a lot of women, I know it's a comfortable in your own body thing. I mean, didn't the Romans used to have public baths and they would just all go out to the bath together and wash off and nobody cared? But by today's standards, there are a lot of people that have private showers. This could be a private shower, but it has multiple heads in it, so it's a big shower room. So I don't see the big deal. And yeah, it seems to me like a lot of athletes, men especially, take showers together and it's not a problem. Women less so, but they still do it kind of too, at times. It depends. It really depends on how you were raised. If she was raised in a very religious setting, there's a lot of different religions that kind of view nudity. They view nudity at all as something inappropriate, and it's just not. Is she an a-hole for being appalled? No, she's a little bit backwards, but I wouldn't really call her an a-hole on this. But you're definitely not the a-hole either. It sounds to me like they've got a pretty good setup down there. Our next story is by Sweet Cherry Pies. Am I the a-hole for not telling my boyfriend I won money 15 years ago? I don't know what I did wrong, or if what I did is wrong, and I need some advice. I didn't want to post this on my real account because I'd like to be as anonymous as possible. My boyfriend, 35 male, and I, 35 female, were discussing finances as we wanted to be on the same page. My boyfriend moved in with me unexpectedly 3 months ago as his landlord decided to move into the property with his family. We were discussing finances and the topic of how I own my place came up. I explained I won some money, not a lot but enough to be able to put myself through nursing school, purchase my home, and have some savings back in 2009, and bought my place outright and then rented it out until I moved back into it in late 2018. Obviously, I had some luck on my side as this was right in the middle of the recession, so I got my place for real cheap. He says I deceived him by giving him the impression that I was financially well off, and I led him to believe I was more business savvy than I was. I don't know how I did that because I literally work as a nurse making decent money, fully own my home, fully own my car, have decent retirement plans and a decent savings. I'm fairly certain that I'm financially better off than most people I know. He says that he can't trust me anymore, and that he was stupid to have listened to my financial advice, but the thing is I never gave him any financial advice except for telling him not to buy a car that was in my opinion unreliable and much too expensive. Did I deceive him by not telling him how I got myself financially stable? Money Part 2. This is a bunch of edits that they shared afterwards. A bunch of edits. Edit. I just had another very weird conversation with him and honestly can't wrap my head around it. Yeah, so he is definitely a gold digger. He asked me how much I have in savings and seemed impressed with how much and then said maybe he reacted too aggressively. Then he asked and told me that he still wants the car I advised him not to get. He hinted at me getting it for him as a birthday present since his birthday is in early March. I'm definitely dumping him. Gonna wait till my 2 sisters and my 2 brother-in-laws can come over before I break up with him, in case he reacts crazy. Edit 2. He's jealous and also resentful. He's ranting about how he would have tripled the money if he won it. Edit 3. He's saying that my money is wasted on me because I don't make it make money. Apparently, I should have been investing my savings in high-yield stocks and other crap. FYI, I do get financial advice from a financial advisor I trust, but I am a risk-averse person, so I would never invest in the manner this idiot is telling me. Sure, the chance to get a lot of money is there, but so is the chance to lose. Edit 4. He's now on a crazy rant because I suggested we take a break from this argument because I don't want to ruin my few days off. My God, I can't believe how he's behaving. He thinks he's so clever, but I am thoroughly disgusted. Oh, it's absolutely over between us. Edit 5. Okay, so I understand him better now. So my house and the property it's on is what led him to believe I was much richer than I am. He assumed I was loaded. So me telling him I actually got lucky pissed him off. Then he found out how much savings and assets I have, and he perked up and has changed his mind. He's now telling me that with just a quarter of my money, he can show me how to invest on the stock market and make real money. Oh, he is genuinely deluded. If you never tell someone how something happened, then no, you're not being deceptive. You're just retaining that information for when it's relevant. It's relevant to him now, so he's asking about it. You didn't deceive him. You didn't lie to him. You just didn't tell him that you earned all this money through winning it back in the day. He seems to not understand the difference between being deceptive and retaining information until it's relevant. Make sure he understands that difference. To be fair, some people can invest and make money on the stock market. If you have this money and you want to make money on the stock market, do not trust your boyfriend to go and do it for you and to learn everything about it. Trust somebody who does it professionally and has good results already. Yeah, and ditch this gold digger. Some people think they're infallible with money and that they would make so much if they just had investment capital. And yeah, he's genuinely deluded is right. Get rid of him. Down in the comments by R. Mawa. Not the a-hole. This feels like jealousy on his part, so he's lashing out. If you were together when you won the money and hid it from him, that might be a different argument. Also, you are financially savvy because you got a windfall and didn't waste it. Well done, you. They hit the nail on the head with that one. A lot of people that win money or inherit money blow through it entirely and don't know how to save. Underneath that by the OP, we've been together almost 1.5 years. I didn't know him when I won the money. Thank you. And underneath that by Profile Electronic. He thought you were better off and he could mooch off you in the long run. It always starts with moving in together because of some issues and the woman's house is the only logical place. Next, he will lose his job due to circumstances and be unable to find another. He must have already began throwing hints that he's unhappy at his current job and he's being treated unfairly. Of course, he believes you deceived him because what he thought of as a cushy retirement is looking not so luxurious as he'll have only your nurse's salary to mooch off. Our next story is by Smelly Cat and the Bat. Am I the a-hole for not babysitting my sister's kids anymore? I'm a 27 male. I did some accidental good financial decisions years ago that today put me on a position where I can do mostly what I love. Mess with all kinds of electronics, play video games a lot, etc. I'm a huge nerd. I own a small electronics computer shop where I fix customers' devices, etc. Also sell general computer stuff and other small electronics. I live in the same building. I don't spend all my time in the shop. I have 2 workers who work in shifts and I work when I feel like it or when they ask for help. I also replace them when they need a vacation or sick days. I have a sister, Jane, who's 34 and she has 3 kids. Mary, who's 14, Julia, who's 6, and Jack, who's 4. And as I'm the only one with basically, quote, unlimited free time to watch over younger kids, quote, I do it every time the kids are sick or my sister is at business trip for her work. And after COVID, kids are sent home for every tiny cough and sneeze. What happened? My grandmother had her 80 years birthday party and everyone was invited, relatives I don't remember ever seeing before. My sister and I were sitting close to each other and suddenly one old lady, who was maybe my grandmother's cousin or something, started to ask everyone what they do. And I told her that I run a small business. And my sister, out of nowhere, yeah, by running a business, he means being very lazy and sleeping until noon. Sometimes chills out in a store and plays video games or watches movies all day while some of us had to work for their success. Which is all technically true. While she studied her whole life, I went to trade school and got lucky with a few business decisions, but I felt kind of hurt that she forgot that for her to get all the education, others had to watch her kids. So I told the lady, "Oh, don't forget that I'm also a full-time free babysitter," but I decided to quit that and focus on being lazy. She did not say anything more, did not take me seriously either, as a week later I get a phone call in the morning that Jack threw up a few times. She would bring him over to my place, and I said, "Didn't you forget that I quit as I am way too lazy to watch the kids?" and ended the call. I went back to bed. When I woke up later, there were multiple messages from my sister telling me that I'm a selfish a-hole and I act like I'm the center of the world. I replied politely, "Sorry you feel that way." Later, my mother called and told me that I put my sister in a really tough position as she, Mom, can't take days off from hospital on such short notice either, and Jane has nobody to watch the kids. Am I the a-hole for not watching them? I am not hurt because of the truth. I know I'm lazy. It hurt that she acted like watching her kids had been nothing. So many stories of people just being rude to somebody who's doing them free favors. Like, you don't get to just trash talk somebody and then still have them do things for you for free. That should be common sense, but apparently it's not for a lot of people, which is a really good thing for us, because we get these stories to kind of raise our eyebrow at. Our stories for today have come to a close. Until we meet again, have an incredulous day.